We have had an awful lot of rain here in Illinois over the past couple of days, and with that has come some flooding. Now fortunately, my basement has stayed dry and nothing is wrong there. My grandfather's basement got a little bit wet, but the more impressive thing is all the water that is sitting around on the land. There are some things around here that I have never seen flood to the extent that they have flooded now, and as proof that the Illinois weather is completely unpredictable, I offer you the fact that right now there are little white balls of ice falling out of the sky, almost like wannabe sleet of some kind. My mother and I are going around to take a look at some of this stuff, and I figured, what the heck, I'll take you, the YouTube viewing public, along for the ride to see some of the flooding around these parts. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see a fair amount of water. Hopefully the wind noise out here isn't too bad, because now the wind's picked up. You know, first we have rain, then we have a little bit of snow stuff going on. Now we've got wind. This area back here is normally all dry land. And look at it now. Wow. The other thing that really amazes me, and this is really a sad commentary, look at all this trash that's out here. This is right next door to a parking lot, and it just appalls me how people have thrown all this crap out here. And some of this stuff, you know, some of it's made of paper and it'll biodegrade eventually, but there's a lot of plastic and crap out here that'll hang around about forever, at least until the sun works on breaking it down. Wow. I have never seen it flooded this much back here. Again, my apologies for the wind noise, because there's probably going to be a heck of a lot of it. There's a creek bed back here, actually. That's a driveway right there. Was a driveway. That creek has definitely been way out of its banks. In fact, there's people that live in houses in rows along back there, and very often the water comes up to greet them.
Oh yeah, it's down.
Not a good deal for those that have patio doors entering into their basement, as a couple of these places do. Well, it's definitely been up back here.
Yeah, but it's
I'd
down.
say it's going to be a very wet season for that particular garden. I wouldn't be surprised if this little thing was underwater.
It's way down.
It has gone down surprisingly quickly, really. Now this particular creek, I think it's safe to say that this bad boy is way, way, way out of its banks. Wow.
Yeah, because that's a berm. Was a berm.
Yeah, I think the emphasis is on the term was. Was a wildlife management area too. Wow. Well, there might be buried underground fiber optic cable. So do you call before you dig, or do you call before you flood? This is really choppy too.
Yeah, it's probably pretty deep.
That is unreal. Look at that, there's a sign back there. What does that say? It says, "No hunting or trespassing under penalty of law." I don't think there's going to be any problem with that today. Just unreal, and it goes way, way back there too.
Yeah, it sure does.
It's not too far from crossing the road here. Got a bunch of birds seeking refuge from all of that water.
Well, do you suppose if they were ground nesting birds,
I think they've been displaced. Wow. Look at that water moving on down the creek there. Just amazing. But surprisingly, not as badly out of its banks as it was a moment ago. Just more of the same, water standing in a field. And again with the wind, unfortunately. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me. See the bridge all the way down there. And this is just how far out of its banks it has come. It is just absolutely amazing. First I was kind of wondering how this over here got flooded, as we didn't really have enough rainfall to do that. I want to say we had about 2 3/4 inches according to the rain gauges I've seen. But obviously there's a culvert runs under this road, and I guess the direction of flow here is a good sign that things are maybe finally starting to go down, but it will take a while for all this water to dissipate. Wow. Now there's that bridge that you saw just a minute or two ago. Goes out here to this, goes out here to this road that I'm on. And then, I don't think I'd take it right now.
No.
I think you would probably end up damaging your vehicle if you were to try something like that at this particular moment in time.
Yeah, unless you were in like a high boy fertilizer sprayer.
I don't think this is something I would try right now, because it's not good. It's a bridge to nowhere. Nowhere good, that is. Clearly it can't decide what it wants to do. It's torn between snow and rain. Right now it's kind of doing both.
Temperature went up a degree, it looks like.
Now yesterday, this particular part was much more exciting to look at, as the waterway, which is part of the creek that you've seen earlier, was way out of its banks. And in fact, just a little bit past here, it was about a foot from coming over the road. And if it had managed to do that, that would be something I have never seen it do in my entire life. And as you can see, it's still plenty swampy and marshy back there. Got a bit of a wildlife sighting going on out here, and some water across the road out here in the country. Look at this bridge. My mother says that she's seen water over this bridge one time way in the past, but it's not there right now.
No, in fact, it's got several feet to go, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
At least 5 or 6 feet.
probably. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit of clearance before this thing's going to go underwater. But up here, as you can very plainly see, that is definitely not the case. You have to be very, very careful if you're driving along and you encounter something like this, because it only takes a couple inches worth of water. Again, forgive the wind noise. It only takes a couple inches worth of water to sweep a vehicle away. And then you can be in some real big trouble. Well, this was somebody's farm field, and considering that in about a week or so the farmers are supposed to be out in the fields, I think this might hold a few of them back a little bit. Yep, here's this water that was across the road, and those geese, I think they were Canadian geese, were crossing it earlier. As you can see, this is moving just ever so slightly. More no trespassing signs. Well, I don't think that's going to be a problem today. Well, my shoes are a little bit on the leaky side, I don't mind telling you. Wow. Well, at least the wind is considerably quieter out here, folks. Check this out. Little recreation area here with the lake running past it. It's going to be a very wet picnic. And I'm sure some of you will undoubtedly remember this bridge. Now here you go, folks. Here's one that's really close to being over the limit. And in fact, I was just speaking with a gentleman who's out here doing much the same thing I'm doing. And he said that about 3 hours ago, not only was this bridge underwater, but there was also a current across the road where that Yukon is sitting. Last time I remember this bridge going underwater, the water was sufficiently deep enough that it actually floated some of the planks out. You can see them right here because they're a slightly different color than the other ones. It actually floated them out and stuck them in some of the trees down there. In other words, behold the power of Mother Nature. It's just amazing to watch her work at times. Suppose he's going to try to go across this bridge. I don't think so. I'm not so sure that'd be a good idea right now. Yeah, check out this walkway over here. Raincoats would definitely be recommended. Wow.